Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back. Just Simply Sports here. Now, Miss Sheryl Swoopes has been trending once again for comments she made on the Gils Arena podcast when speaking about Caitlin Clark and feeling that she's not a dominant player in WNBA. So a lot of you guys were up in arms about these comments she made, calling her a hater and things like that. So I want to actually see for myself what was said in the full context. I don't know about you all, but I'm the kind of person that likes to actually see the full conversation of what's been said before I form an opinion. So I'm gonna play some of the episode because the episode is actually like 2 hours and some change, but this portion of it was a lot shorter than the entirety of the episode. I'm going to play some of it and then we'll get into it.
Since the Olympic break,
Or do they need that rest?
No, no doubt. I think, and so I've talked about this with some other people. I felt like the Olympic break helped the Indiana Fever more than any other team. And I felt like the Olympic break really hurt Chicago. Because I thought before the break, Indiana was playing well, Chicago was playing well.
That's
And
fair.
granted, there have been injuries and things like that. But since the Olympic break, this Indiana Fever team, to me, is a completely different team. And I don't know if people really understand how much like rest plays a part of that. Because when you look at Caitlin, she went from playing in college, playing in the Final Four, going to the draft, going to training camp, season starts, and the Fever are playing, I don't know how many games they played just in a row. But what I've seen from this team, it's not just about like one player, but their ability to really gel together, and their chemistry right now is like they look like they've been playing together for years. And I do think what to me what Caitlin's been able to do in a short period of time has been very impressive, right? And so because I know people are like, "Oh my God, you said she wouldn't be good," but
Okay, you guys. So far, I'm not getting hater vibes. She gave Caitlin her credit. She said the entire team looks great, which they do. They do not look how they did in the beginning of the season. They definitely played differently prior to the Olympic break, just like Chicago did. Chicago obviously has went down after the Olympic break. Indiana Fever have been kicking some serious basketball ass since the Olympic break, and they do like a different team. The team as a whole is going to play a lot better. They are gelling better. The chemistry is flowing. Those are not negative comments, you guys. I don't know what you're getting at. I'm gonna play some more. Maybe I'll hear it, but as of right now, I'm not hearing anything bad that she's saying about Caitlin.
I didn't say she wouldn't be good. What I said was I didn't think Caitlin or Angel would come into the league and dominate immediately, which I don't think either of them did. But
you
I
weren't
will
the only
say,
one who said that. So I think a
You
lot.
know, okay, you guys also. And to anybody, I don't know how many of you like watch Gils Arena, but this episode that she's referring to, I think, was the start of the Sheryl Swoopes quote unquote Caitlin Clark hate because she did reference Caitlin Clark's stats and she was wrong in the episode. But if you watch the episode, not just the clip or at least that full segment, the producers did correct her and give her the correct stats for Caitlin Clark, and she did correct herself and she did acknowledge that she was wrong on that episode. I don't know why that part is not being shown on more podcasts and things like that when you guys are speaking about it, but she definitely corrected herself. So, and she also did say, if you watch the episode, she did speak about Caitlin and Angel. It wasn't just complete bias towards Caitlin, so to speak, because she's hating on the talented white girl and Angel's black, so she loves Angel more. She spoke about both of them being talented, but it being an adjustment period for them both in that episode. And in most cases, whether it's NFL, NBA, WNBA, anytime you go from college to playing at a professional level, it is very much different. You're not dealing with college, you're dealing with people who are getting paid, they have families, they have people dependent on them, so they have bills to pay. So yeah, the competition is different. It is an adjustment. That's not bad. It doesn't mean someone's not talented or someone's hating or they're not going to make it or whatever have you. But adjustments happen when you go from high school to college. You go from college to pros. That's normal. I don't know. I'm gonna play some more.
People felt that when you talk to a lot of players in the W, it's like, look, it's hard for rookies to make that transition from college to the W.
Gino said it too. You know,
but it is hard.
and you know,
But
it's unfortunate.
But you said it. But you're saying it. Dominate, right? When we're talking about Caitlin, we're talking about when she said dominate. When we're saying dominate, we're thinking what she does in college.
Score the ball.
She's dominated college, right?
No, she dominated in college.
She dominated. So when she says you won't come here and dominate off the rip. Averaging 17 is not dominated compared to averaging 30-something for 4 straight years.
But that
right?
was also like the first half of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like after the break, I still don't think she's dominating, but she's a different player than she was in the first half of the season. And I think because of her adjustment and her ability to play first half of the season, you have a break. And it was great that the Olympics was this year, right? That she came into the league. You had a break, had an opportunity to work on your game, do whatever it was she did, but also an opportunity to practice with your teammates. And like I've never questioned if Caitlin was a good player.
Yeah.
I think she's a hell of a player. And my thing was, no, I didn't think she would come in and dominate. I thought it would take her some time to adjust to being a professional. And to me, I think that's exactly what she's done. And her teammates have, like, they too have taken their game to a whole nother level. I think that's what has made this.
So, you guys, I think if we're being honest, and you watched Indiana Fever play in the beginning, post-Olympic break, pre-Olympic break, and then post-Olympic break, if we're being objective, we're being honest, they look like a very, very different team. That much is true. Now, in the beginning of the season, what I saw from Caitlin was someone who had to adjust to physicality. They were, hitting her with cheap shots. They were being really aggressive with her. And it looked like in a few games, it caught her off guard because I don't think she was used to that level of physicality before. In college, they were not as aggressive, like how they are in W. That's just a fact. Angel got hit with some hard fouls as well. It was quite a few rookies, and even this rookie class, it's a history. In most cases, NBA, like there are plenty of rookies who have their welcoming period, if you want to call it that, right? Well, as you look at Caitlin now, when she's getting fouled, you see her, she's kind of standing up for herself more than what she was in the beginning. I do see that she adjusted. I see the team as a whole, their defensive intensity, their defensive presence has picked up. Their offensive presence has picked up. You know what I mean? They look like a very, very different team. And that's a good thing because you want to make the adjustments, especially when it's time going into playoffs. You know what I mean? That's not a bad thing. But again, I don't know how you guys feel. Let me know in the comments this is all perspective for me, because if you listen to Gil, I feel like he put emphasis on dominant being the operative word. And they spoke about comparing Caitlin and the W, more so the first half of the season, compared to her college years. We all know in college she broke almost every record that there is to break, right? Men and women. That's dominant from what it sounds like their perspective. Now, you may have a different perspective of dominant. It doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it wrong. It's just a difference of opinion. But from what I'm hearing, I don't hear someone who's hating on Caitlin or putting her down. I'm going to play some more.
Indiana Fever team, a hell of a team post-Olympic break.
Yeah.
You know what I think? I think leading the WNBA in assists is dominating.
See?
You think so?
I do.
Why?
Because she's a rookie. She's never been in this atmosphere.
But also leading in turnovers, too.
I was going to mention that. I was going to get into all of that.
But those turnovers are not really her turnovers.
And that's why I was going to get into it. So the domination, when you talk about her already leading the W in assists, and a lot of the assists that she could have gotten were now turnovers. So if we want to say whether or not Caitlin is dominating or not, we have to actually look at the totality of her game and not just the highlights.
No, but what I'm saying is it's when we're talking about that, like, no rookie is in dominating form, right? When we're saying dominating, you go through history and say, well, Candace Parker dominated her rookie year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cap.
Shaq.
I mean, I think
rookie year was dominated.
Dominant versus most dominant. I think it's two different.
But that's what I'm saying. Is because we're throwing a blanket on it, right? We're throwing a blanket.
Let's say this: dominant as a rookie. She's more dominant than all of the rookies.
But we didn't use it in rookie term.
Well, because she didn't come in with the statement saying that she's going to be the most dominant rookie.
No, my statement was, because everybody was talking, right? My statement was, I don't think, and let me clarify this. I made the statement about both Angel and Caitlyn, not just Caitlyn.
Right.
My statement was, I don't think either of them are going to come into the league and dominate immediately, meaning what they did in college.
Over all of the players in the W.
And the reason why I said it is because you have a player like an A'ja Wilson who has been in this league for a while and gets better every single year that, and maybe this was more so for the new fans who never watched the WNBA. So my point being, there is hella talent in this league. It's not going to be as easy as y'all think it's going to be.
Right.
But also saying, don't put all that pressure on these rookies, and just say Angel and Caitlyn in particular, because that's who everybody was talking about. Like, don't put all that pressure on them to feel like they got to come in and do what they did in college. Like, let them get to the league, let them adjust, let them understand what it means to be a pro.
Well, that's why I say she dominated from the aspect of her peers, which are the other rookies. I was the most dominant rookie that came in, and I dominated.
But if that was explained like that,
but it
who was going to be the most dominant rookie?
Exactly.
Then that would have been easy.
It wasn't about the rookies. It was about all the talent in the league.
So because she surpassed that. Now that she surpassed dominating all the rookies, she's chasing A'ja now.
But basically, for me, is she going to be doing what she does in college as a rookie? No. Is she going to be doing that at some point? Probably. Right? Because eventually the skill set turns over.
Absolutely.
So if this is her rookie year, she only gets better.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? So at some point she's averaging 20, whatever. Is there going to be a point in time where she averages 28 and 9? Yeah.
The Taysom came in saying, you guys are not going to come in here and dominate like you think. That's her saying, listen, whatever your expectation is, it's going to be more difficult.
I said dominate immediately.
Immediately, yeah. So regardless,
you know what?
The expectation,
they didn't dominate immediately.
They didn't. But the expectation was set. It was set that, hey, look, we're not expecting y'all to come in here and dominate. We're not expecting you to come in here and dominate.
But the thing is, I think a lot of people treated that as you trying to bash Angel and Caitlyn instead of just pointing out that the W has great players.
Yes, it's tough.
You know what I mean? I think that's
it should have been the bottom line.
That's just crazy.
It should have been the bottom line.
All right, you guys. So I'm going to wrap this up because what I'm hearing, I heard compliments. I heard her speak about what her and Gil actually, and Rashad, they have a difference of opinion. And I think that's where it comes down to. It comes down to perspective. And from Sheryl and Gil, when they're talking about dominating, they're going based off of what she previously did and her accolades in college. And they're comparing that to what she's accomplished thus far as a rookie in WNBA her first year. And obviously it's not the same. Now, obviously she's still great, still talented, but it's not the same. I think that's what their point is. We all have different perspectives, guys. I just really hope that we can get to a place where we are not taking everything that someone says about Caitlyn or Angel or Cameron Brink or whatever rookie, in this class as automatic hate. I think context is important. And I think if we just take the time sometimes to watch a full clip or listen to, a conversation, we'll walk away with it not feeling like we have to, take up for our favorite players, so to speak, because I didn't hear anything hateful or nasty from Sheryl, Did she think she was going to be dominant right away? No. Was she dominant, in the first half of the season? No. I think she's doing a hell of a lot better now, personally. But if we're talking about dominant, dominating her compared to A'ja Wilson, I think A'ja Wilson personally is the only one who is dominating consistently. And that's my opinion. What do you guys think, though, about this conversation? Hopefully, now that you've gotten to see more of it, has that changed your perspective? Or do you still think that Sheryl Swoopes is a hater? Or do you agree? Let me know in the comments. I welcome open dialogue. We can agree, disagree all the time, respectfully, of course. And I look forward to reading you guys' comments and seeing you in the next video. Thank you for watching and have a good night.